Yeah, they come in talking sports and yes, they talking anime. Entertainment out here too, you know them boys, they do not play. Tweaking out if they ain't on your playlist every day.
Yeah.
Not
Right.
tapping, listen to what
Hey,
the boys
hey,
they gotta
okay.
say. Now it's time to conversate. Same convo on your airwaves. Yeah, they came to entertain and yes, they talking anime. And they coming with the sports, they changing lives in major ways. You is tweaking out if TACA in your playlist. Hey, if you come and listen, then you listen to the best. They not worried about the others, cause they better than the rest. Kenny, Carlil, Bomb, but they put the others to the test. New episode flow, now tap in to see what is next. Yeah.
Welcome back. This is the same convo with your same host, Kenny, Carlil, and Bomba. And this is the sports segment.
Right on.
And today we're going to be talking about basketball, NBA.
Basketball. You got a basket. Okay. Go ahead.
Unfortunately, we'll be focusing on more basketball drama. So, any of y'all got any warrants?
Not that I know of.
I got a pretty decent lawyer, so nah.
No warrants. I didn't hear what you said, Bomba.
No active one.
Okay.
He said no active one. You know what? We don't have to get into his past. I'll ask him off camera.
Sounds like a good idea. So, there's a new player in the league named Ja Morant. You heard of him?
My God, stop it.
Who he play for?
He plays for the Memphis Criminals.
You're 0 for 2 right now.
And let's get into what happened. So there's a 3 parts to this. So there's 2 incidents and a conclusion. All right. So let's start with incident number 1. Ja Morant, being a young superstar in the league, just got his first shoe deal. Got in or was allegedly in trouble for punching a teenage guy that worked at Foot Locker and threatening him with a gun. How do y'all feel about this?
I mean, of course, punching him would have been enough, depending on the situation. Didn't really go into the backstory of what's going on, but depending on the situation, punching him would have been enough. Threatening with a gun is just, it's over the top. It's like, again, and one thing, I won't get into that. I won't get totally into that. I'll just answer the question. I'll just say, as Ja Morant, knowing who you are, knowing your status, knowing your potential, knowing what you mean to not only the league, but culture right now, because I think we can all agree that he's not, yes, he's a basketball player, but the type of personality he is, he's also a pop culture icon within today's community and culture. Just knowing all that, but it's just like if you're like that, cool. If you're not like that, cool. But like, even if you are like that, pulling a gun is just OD. Like, pulling a gun is just OD. In the mall, I'm pretty sure there was a sign on the door that said no firearms allowed.
Before I respond to Carla, Bombi, what you got to say?
I feel like if you already beat up somebody, you already made your point. So flashing the gun was just unnecessary, especially when it comes to somebody that you're a star, you're like an icon, you're known. I feel like even if you want to leave a certain way, you still gotta be smart about things. You still can't just be out here just doing whatever and whatever, like being like a thug or some type of shit. You as a gun owner, you should not even like just be flashing that shit to nobody. Like if something gets to that point Like y'all fought, you beat him up, you proved your point. To walk off with that. Maybe that would have stopped at that if that was the situation, but to pull out your weapon and like threaten somebody's life like bro, that's just too much, especially for him. It's just like I don't want to get too deep into it because we're getting to another point, and I'll further on my point when we get to that.
Okay. So my response to Carlil, what he said, he shouldn't have even punched that dude. It was so the reason I'm saying this, right? The caption is teenage boy. Indicated to me he's probably a minor.
Okay.
As an adult to punch a minor who is not your child, that's criminal.
Well, you know my favorite 3 words, Kenny. Fuck them kids. Like what? No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
All I'm saying is you might say fuck them kids now, but when you go to jail, something else getting fucked.
Okay, see, you had to take it there. It was just a joke. Okay. No, for sure. I agree. He shouldn't have put his hands on a minor anyway, but I also did start saying just depending again, I've heard of the situation. I don't have any clarity backstory. It wasn't there. Depending on it, kid or not, minor or not, he was old enough to get punched. I ain't gonna lie to you. I've been punched by some adults in my past. Them niggas ain't in jail. They should be.
Not only that, you're worth millions of dollars. The lawsuit to take the money away from you. Now, okay, actually, we're gonna say this. We're gonna move on to the next point. Next incident, right after this one we just talked about, Ja Morant is seen on Instagram flashing a gun. After he just got in trouble for, or allegedly was accused of threatening with a gun, he's now seen on Instagram flashing a gun.
Facts. Then he also, after a game, he was with a group of his homies and they pointed a laser at the Pacers.
That was the first incident.
That was an incident. They never confirmed if it was gun lasers or not.
It was.
They confirmed it was a laser.
A gun laser?
Yes.
Yeah, a laser. A laser at least was pointed at people.
Man, sure. You think people playing around with those little red point lasers anymore, bro? Ain't no way. I was about to say, Kenny, why do you have 2?
There's 3 of them.
Okay.
People have laser pointers. I got one. But anyway, so now how do you take the situation? Well, how do you feel about the Instagram situation?
Instagram situation, yeah, that was just. I mean, the
situation with the Instagrams because they were in another state, meaning he was traveling with the team, had the gun on the team plane or whatever.
It wasn't confirmed if it was on team plane.
We're not there yet.
But you said it was on the team plane, but that hasn't been confirmed. Don't say that. But as far as the whole Instagram video, when I first saw it, that's stupid. Like with everything going on, understand if you intoxicated, having fun or that's just stupid. What did you think was going to happen? Instagram Live, you thought you was just going to flash that shit and then end your live or the live would be over? Everybody and their mama who's a super fan or just wants to repost something, just screen recorded that whole thing. There's parts of that video we haven't even seen. You feel me? Unless you was on the whole live. It was stupid. It's stupid, and just as a fan of him, it's just disappointing. Wow. You just want to. There is no good reason, but you just want to know what compelled you. What compelled you to do that on Instagram Live?
Thousands to see.
Mama.
If I might chime in on that, let me take it even at the moment. So first of all, like Carlos said, we start with a friend of his just pointing a laser at somebody. Whether that was just even a laser alone, right? You did it with the intent to make somebody feel like they had a gun pointed at it. And it was confirmed that it came from their car and everything. Now, everybody's like talking to you, trying to give you advice, like, Ja, you're not a thug. You made it out the hood, preserve your life, do all of this and all of that. Then we come to hear about the assault from the kid. So from that point on, I feel like you got a first warning, you got a second one, you gotta heed the warning. You can't just be out here just doing whatever you want. Even if you are like a real thug, like on these streets for real, this is about your money. This is about your business. This is about your career. And I feel like regardless of what type of lifestyle you want to maintain outside of this, outside of the NBA, when it comes to like the NBA, you should do your best to preserve your life, your work, your money, your career, and
Your
like,
daughter.
what's that?
I said his daughter.
Literally, his daughter. Like, I didn't even think of that. He literally has a daughter. Like, you don't need to be out here doing all of this stupid shit. And then for us to find out that Steven Adams literally had a talk with the whole locker room prior to him going out and doing that, it's just like literally stupid. Like, what were you thinking? And like you want to feel bad for him. It's like, I feel like it sucks very much so to be like, you know, everybody's just like shunning you. And at some point, I feel like he deleted social media not to deal with it, and that gets to you. But like, you got to learn from like what happens. Like, people gave you chances and chances, because I feel like the criticism could have been way bigger, but people love Ja so much that they like, you know, decided to, okay, let's like, you know, like we were just making jokes about it like most of the time online until like that gun situation happened, and then a potential 50-game suspension has been talked about. Everybody's like, what are you doing? Like, you were literally messing your future for nothing. Like, that live doesn't benefit you in any way. Having that gun, flashing it, that doesn't do nothing for you in any way. You could have been at the club, recording yourself, having a good time. The people that will be there watching will be watching you still. They probably would have had, like, you know, more respect, because like nobody would be talking about it. No consequence will come to you, but you just decide it's like something that's like very small, but that could cost you so much. Why choose to maintain that lifestyle? It is very idiotic to me.
So this time I gotta respond to you.
Go ahead.
The thing that grinds my gears so much about this situation is he didn't even make it out the hood. From reports and like people just reporting on the situation, this man grew up in the suburbs, loving 2-parent household. This man never lived this lifestyle in the first place. And Carlo, I see you shaking your head. Is that shaking your head in agreement, or how you feeling, bro?
No, it's just like, I understand where you're coming from. I understand what people are, you know, saying on Twitter and things of that nature, reports. But regardless, 2-parent household, suburbs, ghetto, like, you know, you really don't know how somebody individually grew up. You feel me? Like, you really don't. So I don't like, you know, when people like, that's the one thing I don't like, when people saying about Ja Morant, like, you're not even tough, you're not even this, you're not even that. We didn't grow up with Ja. We are not Ja. So we don't know what his influences were. We don't know how he grew up. Like, regardless, this isn't giving him a pass on any of the situations that happened. Like, none of it should ever happen. But to like try to say he's not this, he's not that, like, we don't really know. We don't really know. So that's why I just don't agree with people saying that. You feel me?
That's fair. That's fair. It's also, I think it's important to say that there was no indication that that gun belonged to him. Having a gun in itself is not illegal. It's actually a right protected by the Second Amendment. So I mean, I guess that brings us to our next point. He was facing a 50-game suspension if it was found that he did bring that gun on the team plane. However, he was found to have, there was not enough evidence for that type of suspension.
Was that just the Colorado police, or was that the NBA? Because I know the Colorado police didn't find it.
It was both.
It was both?
Yeah. So what I'm assuming is the suspension was going to be based off of what the police found. So if the police would have found that he did have the gun on the team transportation, then the NBA would have imposed 50 games.
It's three different investigations, though. Like, the NBA is doing one, and two different police departments are doing one. One in Colorado, the other one, what state was it again? Is it Memphis?
Tennessee.
Yeah, I'm guessing it was in Tennessee, but I'm
Yeah,
saying
Tennessee. Memphis is the state. Tennessee. I mean, Memphis is the city. Tennessee.
it is Tennessee is the state. Yeah, but I'm saying I'm not sure if it was Tennessee's police that was a second one doing the thing though, but it was two police department and then the NBA. So three separate investigations.
Yeah, well, the report I saw was that there was not enough for any criminal penalties for Ja, and also there was not enough to support the 50-game suspension. Is what I've seen. What I've seen. Is that not what you saw, Bomber? Did you see something else?
I mean, I just only saw that they closed the police force, but I trust your source. Let's go with it.
So the Colorado Police Department that investigated him because I guess they had just got done playing the Nuggets.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, he's good. Everything's fine at this point. My thing is, my final question on the subject. Hopefully, Ja Morant has a long career, a long successful one. Maybe he might win a championship. Maybe he might win some accolades or anything. Does this situation hurt his legacy?
No.
Not if he learns from it.
No, I mean, of course, if he keeps going, like, yeah, it's going to continue to hurt his legacy. But he's 23. He has a long career ahead of him. It doesn't look like he's slowing down. Like I was mentioning earlier, he's kind of a pulp culture icon. And with that, like, he's also like one of the. I mean, LeBron's about to retire. He's the face of the league. Once LeBron retires, he will be one of the many faces in the league, if not the top face. You know, he just has that personality that the league likes to represent these days. But I don't think, this is going to hurt his legacy at all. It's going to be remembered for sure. But like, as long as, from here on out, like, stays on a straight and narrow, like not necessarily getting into this type of trouble, I think, everybody's going to eventually, because there's been worse things that have happened, to NBA players, to great NBA players, that their legacy has not been affected by it, i.e., like Kobe Bryant, RIP.
Basically, Colin said it all. I mean, if he learns from it, we cannot hold him accountable for like something that he's done in his youth. I mean, because it just basically depends on how he comes back from it. Like coming back, focusing, and just doing what he's supposed to do. Like just trying to stay off from like social media and people's radar. Like that's the best thing you can do. Focus and literally, we all appreciate his talent. We all see it. He is fun to watch, and like Carlos said, like a lot of people just love him. Once LeBron is gone, like we can all understand that he's gonna be one of the next superstars. But like, just don't throw your career away trying to be something that you're not. And like he said that he was gonna take some time off. I hope that he actually still decides to do that. Take the time off, work on yourself, come back, come better, just dominate.
So my last final question: if it was found that Ja Morant had the gun or traveled with the gun, would y'all have supported the NBA's 50-game suspension?
I ain't gonna lie, 50 games is a lot though. 50 games is a lot. I feel like I would have been fine if they decided to just like give him a tap on the wrist, like probably give him like 10-game suspension or something like that. Because I feel like just for him enough, like when everybody was just like coming at him, like the reaction that he's seen like from everybody, I feel like that did a number on him enough, and that was like enough of a punishment, and that's why he literally was like, okay, like I'm gonna shut everything down and I'm gonna go take a break and work on myself really and come back and find better ways to work on my mental health. Because I feel like also something that Colin said earlier that was important is that you don't really know where Josh comes from. You don't know, like how he grew up. It could be his way of like dealing with something too. So that could be why he keeps coming back and doing it. And if he gets the help, I mean, you can't hold it against him. But 50 games is a lot. 50 games is a lot, especially for the team. I'm not even talking about him.
Facts. Now, I agree with most of the things Obama said. But I don't have a problem with the 50-game suspension. It is a lot. I agree that is a lot, but I don't think I can have a problem with it because if it would have been anybody else, white, black, Hispanic, they would have got a 50 game as well. That's NBA league rules. If gun is found on any type of team premises, that's an automatic 50-game suspension. No exceptions. So, I don't really have a problem with it. If those are your rules, those are your rules. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's just you as an NBA player, you are aware of the rules. And so, it just you knew better at the end of the day. But like I said earlier, like Mamba said earlier, like not we don't know how he grew up, and there's also been, Gilbert Arenas said something, Paul Pierce has said something. There have been multiple NBA players like that have came from, situations where they feel like they have to protect themselves and before they came to the league carry guns, and then after they in their league they carry guns. They don't carry guns, they got security guards around them or they got boys around them that do carry guns, you feel me? But it's just like you yourself, the way that you are using said gun or the way that you are presenting said gun, the rules, and it's up to you to either follow the rules or get away with the rules, and he didn't do either. So if it comes down to it, when the NBA ends their investigation and it came on team premises, the gun either came on the team plane or it was in team premises or away team premises, like I'm sorry for that, man, but go ahead, sit 50 games, go find yourself, and come back as the best damn player in the NBA. Damn.
Yeah, I gotta agree with Carlito. It's just like you've already had too many first of all, you've already had way too many gun related incidences already.
Facts.
And this is what, your fourth year in the league? Which one? Is it third or fourth?
I think it's third. We can look it up real quick. Keep talking. I'll look it up.
All right. This is your third or fourth year in the league, and you now have 3 gun incidents on your record. Let's not forget, they are basketball players, but this is still a professional organization. Like, we hold LeBron to such a high standard because of how he's, carried himself throughout he's been famous since he was in high school.
And that man really that's somebody we know for a fact did come out the mud.
Exactly. That's somebody we know who really came out the mud.
Hey, shout out Bron. I'm in Northeast Ohio right now. Yes, sir. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So yeah. For you to be in a position to play a game of basketball for multi-millions of dollars, being in a position where people would literally kill to be, and for you to potentially squander it just because you want to look cool and flash a gun on Instagram Live or do whatever you want to do, I can't condone your stupidity. If 50 games is a slap on the wrist to me, because Gilbert Arenas got kicked out the league.
Facts.
So if you got to sit out the rest of the season, that is a slap on the wrist, because you can come back next season.
You could not be in the NBA.
Yeah, you could always just not be in the NBA. They will find a new point guard.
Facts. It was 4 seasons.
4 seasons. Ja Morant's been in the league for 4 years already. You should know better. Your dad is at every game with you. Like, come on. Not even that. Like, Carlo mentioned, you're a pop icon. I don't want to say he's an icon yet, but he's popular in the media. You're in the NBA, which is a family-oriented organization. You have kids looking up to you. You have kids watching what you do in the NBA. I want to be like Ja Morant when I get older. I want to play in the NBA like Ja Morant. I'll be a point guard like Ja Morant. You gotta be careful of the messages you're sending out with it. So that's what I got to say on that. But this has been a real cool, real calm sports segment. We hope you enjoyed. If you have any thoughts, comments, or opinions on the Ja Morant situation, and his penalties, if you think it was inadequate, if you think it was too harsh, leave it down there in the comments. Also, don't forget to tell your mama and tell your grandma.
Hey, mama.
And we out here.